দর্শক, টাইম টেলিভিশন ল অ্যান্ড জাস্টিস প্রোগ্রামে আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগতম। আপনারা জানেন যে প্রতি সপ্তাহে এই অনুষ্ঠানটি প্রচারিত হয়ে থাকে এবং এখানে ইমিগ্রেশনের বিভিন্ন বিষয় নিয়ে আলোচনা করা হয়। তো আজকে আমাদের সাথে আছেন অন্য সপ্তাহের মতোই অ্যাটর্নি সেলিম রিজভী, যিনি ইমিগ্রেশন বিষয়ে একজন অভিজ্ঞ। ওয়েলকাম মিস্টার রিজভী ইন দ্য শো।
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. So how is everything going?
Very good. I mean, there are a lot of news. There are a lot of action. But unfortunately, there is no concrete thing which is coming out at the moment. But there's lots of talk.
Yeah.
Very
So what about
talk.
the Second Circuit Court? There is a very controversial program, which is surveillance program,
Right.
by NSA.
Yeah.
National
Well,
Security Agency.
that's I think it's a very welcoming decision by the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, which is located
What can
here
you just
in
tell us, tell
Well,
the
yeah.
viewers that what's
If you go back, as you pointed out,
yeah.
that National Security Agency, which is a huge organization,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
located
see.
very close to DC in Virginia,
Yeah.
in the suburbs of Virginia. And this agency has long history of conducting surveillance, but it became
yes.
very active and got billions of dollars to their funding. And their main objective is to provide this electronic surveillance.
Yes.
It's very different from CIA. I mean,
Yeah.
CIA does personal human espionage. They have their agent which goes out to different countries
Yeah.
and meet their objective, whatever those objectives
yes.
are. But national security agencies take
They have a
care
huge
of,
database.
all
Almost
kind of electronic.
almost everybody's data they have.
Well, throughout the world, I mean,
Yes.
they were caught red-handed by many different states and government, and there have been a lot of protest. You must know about Edward Snowden, who was the guy who leaked out the information.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of discussion about their activities. Lots of people thought their activities are illegal.
Illegal,
And
human rights
there were a lot of
violation, Privacy
accusation about
Act.
it. But fortunately or unfortunately, there was not many documents available to substantiate their case. But then all of a sudden, Edward Snowden
Yeah.
leaked out many documentation, not many, 1,000 of
Yeah, thousands of
documentation.
recommendations.
So there was a huge uproar. It has captured the imagination of American public, and people came to know, and people were rightfully very concerned about their privacy. I mean, the other day I was watching a program on Fox Channel, and they ran one of the caption in terms of a question, and the suggestion was, look, if I'm not a terrorist and the government is spying on me, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
All right. But the rebuttal is, this is my privacy.
Yeah.
I'm living in a civilized country, and I have certain rights. I want to protect my privacy. Yes, I'm not a terrorist.
Yeah, but
that's why go
everybody
away.
has, privacy is very important.
Absolutely, and
And
also
it's a part of democracy as well.
this is it. You said it. You said
Yeah.
it in short sentence,
Yeah.
but that is true. So even in different contexts, the same logic, same sort of argument comes up. Sometimes the FBI would say, or the police said, if you are not a terrorist, you are not a criminal. Why don't you talk to us? Right? But the question is, if you are looking for a criminal, if you're looking for a terrorist, go somewhere else. I'm an innocent citizen. Don't waste
And harass me.
Don't waste your time on me unless you have something concrete against me. And I always tell my clients not to talk to them, and tell them very clearly, look, if you have something against me, and if you want to interrogate me, all right, I want to have a lawyer besides me. It's not that I have done something wrong, but I want to know my rights, all right? And a professional, a lawyer, would be able to help me with protecting my rights. So this is very important, by the way. I'm talking it in a different context. Now, coming back to National Security Agency, they started collecting telephone data from different telephone companies.
Yes.
And they were collecting this data in bulk, all right? So
millions of people.
All right, and they will get the court order. These are not regular courts. These are surveillance court. This is a different kind of court.
Okay. Yeah.
And they will get an order, and the court would say, fine, go ahead and start collecting this data. All right, but the law says, because there was, you remember USA Patriot Act?
Yeah,
there was a
Patriot,
certain
Patriotic
section
Act,
to it. It says if that record is relevant, then you can have access to that record. So what they did was they started collecting. This was their interpretation. Their interpretation was to collect data and see which data is relevant, and then go deeper into it. So in very short and simple explanation is that the court said no, it's illegal. It's illegal. But the court, interestingly enough, court did not go to the extent to say you cannot do it, because they made the decision that this is an illegal thing, and then they send the case back to the district court, and now it's up to the district court to decide what they want to do about it. And I'm pretty sure the district court would say this, if this is illegal and the Court of Appeal found out this is illegal, then it must be stopped. But at the same time, in Congress, this debate is going on. Mitch McConnell, he was very angry.
Yeah.
He said this is not this is
It's
unacceptable,
matters.
and we need to extend it, because Democratic Party and lots of people in the Democratic Party are saying that this program should not be extended. Now they got this help, but we have to see,
what's the okay, let me ask you one question, very interesting.
Sure.
As you mentioned before, that if, say about there is a guy, he did nothing wrong, right? All of a sudden FBI knocked the door,
right,
and say, okay, I need to talk to you.
Right.
Then what they have to do?
The basic thing is don't let them come into your house.
Okay.
You see, so this is our culture.
Say about all of a sudden a stranger knocking your door, you open the door and say, okay, look.
You don't even have to open the door.
Okay, what they can say?
All right. Well, this is FBI. All right. He said, okay, what do we like to know? But don't invite them inside the house, because we are very courteous people. It's a cultural thing, right?
Yeah.
If somebody is there out of fear or out of courtesy or out of privacy, because people don't want to talk to them standing in the hallway, they feel very embarrassed when the police or the FBI is at their door. So most of the time they invite them in. Once these people are inside their home, then anything which is in their sight, they will look around, and even without a search warrant, they can start looking into things. So that's a big mistake. They can, yes, you can reveal your name, you can give them your address, but if they start asking more questions, more intrusive questions about they say, what is your immigration status? You don't need to reply. Okay, this is your constitutional right.
Okay, can I take a phone?
Absolutely.
দর্শক, আপনার নাম এবং পরিচয় দিয়ে প্লিজ কথা বলুন। হ্যালো।
ওকে, আমার প্রশ্ন হলো, আমার মা সিটিজেন না, কিন্তু গ্রিন কার্ড অবস্থায় ওনার ছেলের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করছে, তো এখন তো ম্যারিড, বিয়ে করে ফেলছে, এখন তো এই অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা বাদ, যেটা আমি জানি, কিন্তু উনি কি গ্রিন কার্ড অবস্থায় আবার অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারবে? আর কয় বছর লাগবে করলে, মানে, আর আমি সিটিজেন হয়েছি, আর আমি যদি আমার ভাইয়ের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করি কয় বছর লাগবে?
আপনি আমার মনে হয় আবার একটু ফোন করেন, আপনার কথা আমরা শুনতে পাচ্ছি না, আবার লাইন কেটে আবার ফোন করুন প্লিজ।
ওকে,
থ্যাংক ইউ। Okay, so say about so if they came and knocked the door, then you don't have to, okay, so if I open the door,
right,
then if they ask me a question, then what I have to do?
Well, very simple. I mean, what is your name? Do you live here?
I have to keep the door open, or I can close the door and talk to them
both options are open to you.
Okay.
All right.
They cannot force.
Unless they have well, that's a different story. Okay. It depends on the situation. If they have a warrant to arrest you, and you're resisting, it's not a good thing. So if you're asking them, do they have any warrant on you? For instance, there are ICE people from Immigration Service or from police, and they have a warrant, and you're resisting that warrant. That's a crime.
That's a crime.
So it's a very delicate situation. I mean, it's easy to say that don't open the door or don't let them come in. But in most of the situation, people get very fearful.
Yeah.
People are very concerned. They don't want to make any mistake. Even in the street, I mean, if the cop stops you, you can identify yourself. And if they want to go beyond that to starting asking question, you can use your right to say, look, I'm not feeling comfortable, all right? At this time, you're asking me question because, my memory is not serving me. I have to look up the record and all that. There could be a lot of things. I'm nervous at the moment.
Yeah.
And I want to have a lawyer beside me. It's not that I have done something wrong, but I just want to be protected.
Yeah, let me have the phone. দর্শক আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আপনার নাম এবং পরিচয় দিয়ে প্লিজ আমাদের আলোচনায় অংশ নিন।
আমার মা সিটিজেন না, উনি গ্রিন কার্ড অবস্থায় ওনার বড় ছেলের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করছে। অ্যাপ্লাই করার পরে বাইরে বিয়ে করে ফেলছে, আর ছোট ছেলে বিয়ে করে নাই। তো এখন তো বড় জন্য বিয়ে করে ফেলছে, ওনার অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা বাদ, সেটা বুঝছি। কিন্তু এখন গ্রিন কার্ড অবস্থায় কি ওই ছেলের জন্য আবার করতে পারবে? আর সিটিজেন হইলে ছোট ছেলের কয় বছর লাগবে আসতে? আর আমি সিটিজেন হয়েছি, আমি যদি আমার বড় ভাইয়ের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করি, আমার ওনার আসতে কত সময় লাগবে? মানে আমি করলে আগে হবে না আমার আম্মা গ্রিন কার্ড অবস্থায় থাকার সময় করলে, বা সিটিজেন হলে করলে আগে হবে? মানে আমি করলে আগে হবে না উনি করলে আগে হবে? তো সেটা জানার জন্য প্রশ্ন করছি।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এখন তো উনি গ্রিন কার্ড অবস্থায়, উনি কি গ্রিন কার্ড অবস্থায় করতে পারবে কিনা?
Oh, thank you.
I understood some part of it,
Okay.
not fully.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, she's asking, her mother is a citizen. She applied for her two son. One son got married, another one doesn't.
Yeah, she's a green card holder. Mother is a green card.
Mother is green card holder.
She's a green card holder. Right?
Yes.
This is what she said. She didn't say that mother
Yeah,
is
but
a US
she's a citizen.
Right,
Sister who are
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
here.
right.
So she's asking who will, if she applied, whether they can come earlier or her mother.
Yeah, well,
if,
the
they
situation is there's a little obstacle here because one of the son,
her mother, whether she could apply for.
yeah,
for
mother, the petitioner, the mother who is a petitioner is a green card holder.
Yes.
All right. So one of the sons is married now. So unfortunately, a green card holder cannot carry on with the application. So that application is gone. Okay. Had she become a U.S. citizen and after that the son were married, it would have been a different situation. But under the circumstances, the married son is out and the mother cannot pursue that application anymore. Even if she becomes a U.S. citizen later on, she cannot continue with this application. What she will have to do is to file a new petition. And people are, unfortunately sometimes very not knowledgeable about it. And when you tell them that you have to file a new application, they get really mad and angry that nobody told them about this thing. So, and now the sister who is a U.S. citizen, the caller who is a U.S. citizen, if she files the application for the married brother, she can do that, but it's a long process.
About 13 years, 14 years.
14 years. At the moment, they are processing 2002 cases. Unless that brother is eligible under a different category.
Okay, so thing is, if mother is a citizen, right?
Yeah.
And if she applied for her son and they are under 21 years old,
Yeah.
they can come quick, right?
Right.
If mother is a green card holder and
Right.
if she applied, then it's take how many years? Say about
Well,
mother is
yeah.
citizen. Mother is not citizen, green card
Mother
holder.
is a green card holder. I have the
And she
exact date. I have
yeah.
the exact date, visa bulletin. All right. If mother is a green card holder and the son or the daughter
underage, 20,
under
below
21, so they come under F2A category. And at the moment they are processing September 1, 2013 cases. So we are talking about approximately 2 years.
Or 2 years.
Counting
so
national.
it's not very bad.
Which is not very bad. But let's say if the same son or child becomes son and daughter, meaning over 21, then it goes back to 2008, September 15, 2008.
That means about 7-8 years.
Approximately 7 years.
Yeah.
And
if they get married, then
get married, and the petitioner is a green card holder,
Yeah.
then that application dies.
so
That
they
is
have to
completely
apply
done.
again after citizenship.
Unless the person is a U.S. citizen. If the petitioner is a U.S. citizen and his or her children are married, then we go back to F3 category, which takes us back to 2004.
It's
meaning
about 11 years.
11 years. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's, okay, so, huh? ওকে, জি দর্শক, উনি যেটা বলেছেন যে আপনার আম্মা যদি গ্রিন কার্ড হোল্ডার হন এবং আপনার ভাইরা যদি 21 বছরের নিচের বয়সের হয়, তাহলে আবার 4 বছরের মধ্যে ওরা আসতে পারবে। ওরা যদি 21 বছরের উপরে চলে যায় এবং এর মধ্যে কেউ যদি বিয়ে করে ফেলেন, তাহলে ওনার আম্মা যদি গ্রিন কার্ড হোল্ডার হন, তাহলে এই আবার ওনাকে সিটিজেনশিপ পাওয়ার পরে ওনাকে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে হবে। আর যদি গ্রিন কার্ড হোল্ডার হিসাবে উনি অ্যাপ্লাই করে রাখেন এবং তারা যদি বিয়ে না করে, তাহলে কমপক্ষে 7 থেকে 8 বছর লাগবে। আর আপনি যদি অ্যাপ্লাই করেন, তাহলে আপনার লাগবে কমপক্ষে 13 বছরের মতো আপনার লাগবে, অ্যাবাউট 13 ইয়ার্স, 11 to 13 ইয়ার্স আপনাকে অপেক্ষা করতে হবে।
Well, thank you very much for for saying that in Bangla, because that is very helpful to people.
Yeah, so can I take a small break and then we'll come back?
Let's
দর্শক,
do it.
আমরা একটা ছোট্ট বিরতিতে যাচ্ছি, বিরতির পরে ফিরবো। আপনারা টাইম টেলিভিশনের সাথেই থাকুন।
For the best threading, waxing, facial, color, haircuts, henna, special bridal and party makeup, and more, come to Tenzin Salon, corner of Broadway and 72nd Street in Jackson Heights.
SNS অ্যাকাউন্টিং অ্যান্ড জেনারেল সার্ভিসেস আমাদের রয়েছে ইনকাম ট্যাক্স, অ্যাকাউন্টিং, ইমিগ্রেশন সার্ভিসেস, ট্রান্সলেশন অ্যান্ড নোটারি সুবিধা। যোগাযোগ করুন এম এ কাইয়ুম, 3542 31st স্ট্রিট, লং আইল্যান্ড সিটি, নিউ ইয়র্ক 11106। ফোন 718-361-5883, 718-685-2010। Fax 718-361-6071. SNS Accounting and General Services. Trust us, we serve you better.
Wide angle.
দর্শক, আমরা আবার ফিরে এলাম টাইম এন্ড ল অ্যান্ড জাস্টিস প্রোগ্রামে। আমাদের সাথে আছেন অ্যাটর্নি সেলিম রেজভি। Mr. Rizvi, welcome to the show again.
Well,
and let's
thank you
take a
very
phone
much.
because there is a
Absolutely.
viewers
Let's
waiting
do
for
it.
us.
Let's do it.
Viewers, আপনার নাম এবং পরিচয় দিয়ে প্লিজ ফোন কথা বলুন।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম।
Walaikum assalam.
আমার নাম এমডি ইসলাম। আমার প্রশ্ন হলো, একজন সিটিজেন তার প্যারেন্টসকে আনতে কত টাইম লাগবে?
Okay, thank you so much আপনার প্রশ্নের জন্য। What he is asking, a citizen,
Yeah.
how long it's going to take time to bring his parents?
Okay, he's a citizen. So parents are his immediate relatives. Okay.
Mhm.
So there are two-tier process. Once you file the application, which is I-130 petition, the immigration service is going to take approximately 4 or 5 months to approve the application, depending where he lives.
Mhm.
Once that process is completed, the application will be sent over to National Visa Center.
Mhm.
National Visa Center will collect certain documentation, such as affidavit of support and some supporting documentation. And there is some, the rest of the process will be done online. There's an application which is called DS-260.
Mhm.
Now that application has to be done online. So National Visa Center will take approximately 3 months, and the application will be sent over to the country of his parents. If he is from Bangladesh, it will go to Bangladesh. So roughly speaking, within a year, the application should be completed.
So first, when the citizen applied, then it's take about 4 or 5 months
Approximately,
to
yeah.
approve the
right,
application,
right.
and then they send it to the National
Yeah.
Visa Center,
Right.
and they ask for some documentation,
Yes.
and then they send to the concerned
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
for the interview.
Absolutely.
So
Over
it-
a period of time, we see that National Visa Center process has become more cumbersome, because filing the application is not difficult. You can file the application, which is I-130 petition, with some documentation. But remember, when you came and when I came, at that time, all the papers used to be collected by the embassy.
Yeah.
So that time is gone. So now that we have this semi governmental agency, which is
Mhm.
called the National Visa Center.
Mhm.
Now, NVC will collect all the papers, biographic information, copy of the passport, photographs, photocopy. Oh, by the way, I just want to point out that few months ago, National Visa Center were collecting original documentation. They wanted to see the original birth certificate, original marriage certificate, and this sort of thing. But not, because you see, some people have difficulty giving them this documentation, because people always are very fearful that perhaps National Visa Center will lose our documentation. And sometimes it's very difficult to get those documentation, such as birth certificate and marriage certificate. So now they are not collecting those documentation at National Visa Center level. They would say the beneficiary, for instance, in this case, this gentleman who's a US citizen, when he will do the National Visa Center process, he will be filing photocopies of his documentation, and his parents will have to appear with original documentation. They can show the original documentation to the visa officer at the embassy and collect those documentation back. Is very important.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot emphasize it more, because those documentation must be collected back from them.
Okay, so let me explain him.
Sure.
ওকে দর্শক, উনি যেটা বলছেন সেটা হচ্ছে যে ন্যাশনাল ভিসা সেন্টার আপনি যখন অ্যাপ্লাই করবেন আপনার আব্বা আম্মার জন্য, তখন এটা অ্যাবাউট 4 থেকে 5 মাস সময় লাগে অ্যাপ্রুভ হওয়ার জন্য। অ্যাপ্রুভ হওয়ার পরে ওরা ভিসা সেন্টারে পাঠায়, ন্যাশনাল ভিসা সেন্টার। ভিসা সেন্টারে কিছু ডকুমেন্টেশন তারা চায়। ওই ডকুমেন্টেশন পাওয়ার পরে তারা করে কি, তারা যদি দেখে সব কমপ্লিট, তারা তখন বাংলাদেশে যদি আপনি হন, তাহলে বাংলাদেশ এমবেসির কাছে আপনার পুরো ফাইল পাঠিয়ে দেয়। সেখানে এমবেসি তখন প্রসেস করে যে মানে আপনার ইন্টারভিউটা কবে হবে না হবে। আর আরেকটা বিষয় হচ্ছে যে আগে অরিজিনাল সব ডকুমেন্ট, অরিজিনাল সব বার্থ সার্টিফিকেট এবং অন্যান্য ডকুমেন্ট অরিজিনাল ন্যাশনাল ভিসা সেন্টারে পাঠাতে হতো। এখন ওইখানে ফটোকপি দিলেই হয়, আপনাকে ফটোকপি দিলেই হবে। আপনার আব্বা আম্মা যখন এপিয়ার হবেন, তখন ওনারা অরিজিনালটা নিয়ে ওইখানে এপিয়ার হবেন। তো অল টুগেদার সব মিলিয়ে যদি সব কাগজপত্র ঠিক থাকে, তাহলে 1 বছরের মধ্যেই আপনার আব্বা আম্মা এই দেশে আসতে পারবেন।
And in this context, the real challenge is to make sure that the applicant is filing all the documentation as per the requirement. The most important thing is to prepare the affidavit of support correctly, because I'm noticing lots of people are filling it up incorrectly, and it delays the process, because people don't understand what is meant by household size.
Household, how many members, and what is the requirements of the income.
They don't understand the income requirement, because there are gross income, there is adjusted gross income, there is net income. Sometimes they miss that. Sometimes they don't count the household member correctly. And if any block is not completed correctly, they will send it back. And I have seen in those situations people have wasted more than 3-4 months. So it's imperative, it is very important to fill up the affidavit of support completely.
I mean, it's very important that when they fill up the affidavit of support, they have to, what is the guideline of the government?
The poverty guideline is very important.
Very important.
Fill up, don't leave any boxes blank.
Yes.
Those has to be crossed, and those, you know, if there's no information available, then you have to indicate that and file it as perfectly as possible.
So let's talk about the, last week, President Clinton. He talked about the immigration.
Former president he's coming out very strongly. You know, he said if any would-be candidate, any potential candidate for president wants to come and consult me, my first advice would be to take care of immigration issue. And I think the major beneficiary is his wife, Hillary Clinton,
his wife,
because Hillary Clinton came out very strongly in favor of immigration law. And she said very rightly, and I 100% agree with her, she said Republican Party and most of the conservative in the Republican Party, they want to treat immigrants as second-class citizens. This is exactly what she said, second-class citizen. And President Clinton said, he said, we have to go beyond what President Obama is offering in executive action. This has to be legislative, and there should be a permanent solution to this issue. So perhaps he's talking about, remember the old comprehensive immigration law, where all the aspects of immigration law were taken care of, because people do realize that this is a broken system.
A very broken system.
It needs to be fixed.
And we are hearing the fix the system. It's been years and years.
Yeah.
Last 25 years almost, we are hearing the same
Absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely. And the unfortunate part is that they are not doing it.
No one.
They are not doing it.
You know, during the time of President Bush, it has
Yeah.
been passed in Senate, then
Yeah.
the House,
Yeah,
they stop it. It's still there.
yeah.
Sometimes the House passed, the Senate killed it. So, you know, it's a dilemma is going on.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Well, I think, that this-
what would be the strategy of the Republican Party this year?
Well, I think Republican Party does not want to leave President Obama with his immigration legacy.
Right.
Right. So they thought this is wrong, and not wrong because people don't deserve that.
Basically, they don't want to give him any credit.
They don't want to give him anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, they've been opposing his healthcare system. They're still coming against it. They don't want to talk about foreign policy issues, which is you know, suggested by President Obama. They're
Yes.
giving him such a hard time about Iran. So foreign policy is a mess because of their
Yeah.
intervention on it. They don't want the executive branch to create and craft foreign policy. They want to create everything, they control everything. So that's a problem. But as far as immigration reforms are concerned, Republicans do realize that they cannot ignore, but they want to take the credit. So their strategy is to make President Obama leave the office empty-handed.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to see him taking any credits. Otherwise, the executive action, I think it was the right thing. It was not
Yeah.
an unconstitutional thing. And lots of people were waiting for it. But at the same time, Republicans are aware of the fact that if they don't make any promises and they don't take care of it in a very concrete, solid way,
Yes.
they're not going to win the election. You know,
Like
Jeb
last
Bush
time.
said it very clearly. John McCain came out very strongly
very
on
strongly,
it,
yeah.
and he said, if you don't take care of this issue, immigration issue, he said, I don't think Republican Party is going to be in the White House.
Yeah. So
they're
we
going to
have
be
1
left
minute
out.
time. Can you just tell us a little bit late update of Obama's executive order?
Well, executive action, you know, my eyes are fixed on the appellate court, because the appellate court has to make this decision on it. I don't know whether there will be further appeals, whether they are going to the Supreme Court. But at the moment, we are stuck at that point of time, at that stage. And it's very difficult to predict, because there are some judges which are very conservative. One of the judge who was appointed by President Obama is very forthcoming on this issue. He's very sympathetic to this cause. But the other two judges are very legalistic. They are looking into it very deeply. As far as oral argument is concerned, that is done. And now we are waiting for the decision. So let's see what happens.
Thank you so much for
My pleasure.
all
Thank you for
kind of
having me.
information.
It's
and
always a pleasure to talk to you.
You're always great to provide
Thank
the
you very
update and
much.
latest
Thank you.
information.
Thanks.
We are hoping the the election and the candidates. I think all the candidates, they have to come up with a solution that
Yeah,
they have to attract the
you know,
vote of the
off the
immigrant.
record, we were talking about the involvement of the Bangladeshi community. We understand they are very vibrant.
Oh,
They are
great,
involved
yes.
in politics, and especially local politics, which is
Yeah.
very important. And hopefully they will raise their voice, and their voice will be heard.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you. দর্শক, আজকে এ পর্যন্তই। আগামী সপ্তাহে আবার আপনাদের সাথে দেখা হবে। ততক্ষণ আপনারা সবাই ভালো থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন এবং টাইম টেলিভিশনের সাথেই থাকুন। খোদা হাফেজ।
Khuda Hafiz.